said, Patches, I'm dependent on you, son. Because it's NH Unscripted. Yes, sir, and I am your Clarence Carter-like host, Ray Dudley. Whew, you can tell I'm out of the house today, baby. Snuck out, break out the Sony Walkmans, men's, whatever, with those stinky, crappy headsets they provide for you. Take out the cassette tape, turn on the radio portion, flip it on over to the AM band, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, both Concord-based and 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. And yeah, we got a URL. Of course we do. You know who we are. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. There's so much going on out there. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Right now, I need to thank my sponsor, Lakes Region Fence in Guilford. Lakes Region Fence, LRFence.com, speaking of URLs, is their URL. LRFence.com, LRFence.com. First thing you do when you go out there, there's a button for a free estimate. Come on, all of us old people, coupons, depending on how you say it, and free. We love free. That's why we go to Costco, and that's why we go to Sam's Club. All those days of giving out the free samples. But I digress. Go on out to Lakes Region Fence. Pick yourself out a beautiful, beautiful new poolside fence or a property line out there. Come on. You know you need it. Father's Day's coming up. Why wouldn't you do it? Come on. Just look at your beautiful, what do we call them nowadays? Other person in your life. Kind of give those teary, you see those posters with the little kids with those big monster eyeballs where they're like weeping, they're the teary-eyed kid. That's what you want to look like when you're saying, Father's Day's coming up and I really could use a new fence, a new property line. I could, around the pool, it looks so terrible. Lakes Region Fence does it all. They install all types of fencing, and that's like tennis courts, basketball courts, sports courts, commercial yards. They do property lines, pool fences, horse corrals. Not that I have a horse, but if I did, I would want to corral that baby in. LRFence.com is the URL. Once again, LRFence.com. There are reams, and I mean this sincerely, reams and reams and reams and pages of the photos of the work they do. I love Matt and his gang up there. They have been tremendous sponsors of this show. We appreciate them so much. LRFence.com. Go on out. All right. So today is going to be another day of me just kind of babbling, talking about things coming up. Oh, we have a lot of guests coming up. I mean, some great stuff. I do in this today's episode. I want to talk a little bit about. I spent some time up at the Prescott Farm Powerhouse Theater Collaborative Play Festival. I want to give a little bit of a recap about that. Andrew, maybe get your opinion on some things that deal with that. Not right now, but we'll get to it. I want to talk about some other stuff coming up. The Rain Man, yes, I am going to see Frankie Valli at Mohegan Sun this weekend. Yeah, I know you're all envious. I would be, duh. But it's my wife's birthday coming up. She is a Frankie Valli fan. And so we're going to go down to Mohegan Sun. We would never gamble, God forbid. But we will be seeing Frankie Valli. That should be an excellent, excellent time. Just for those of you who are curious about things coming up, we have market days. Yeah, Andrew, market days, right, brother? June 20, 21, 22. Have I got that right?
Yeah. You will see us. WKXL will have a booth at market days.
The beautiful faces behind the microphones?
Yeah, and you'll see one, if not all of us, at some point or another across those 3 days. So come on over and say hi. In one capacity or another, we will be there. That's coming up. I have a friend who has written some classic, what do we call them? They're like
old detective kind of soap opera-y things.
Well, like a noir?
Yeah,
like film noir? Yeah.
Yes, but very, I don't want to say they're not non-PC-ish. They're very humorous. And so we're going to be inviting him in. That's Kevin Collins. And we are going to be doing some of those in the future, maybe 1 or 2 Fridays a month till we exhaust it. And then coming up as well, speaking about Frankie Valli, I also have tickets, yes, because we are big fans, out at the Winnipesaukee Playhouse. They have coming up their first show of the season. And I think either Tim LeCoyer and Leslie Pankhurst and possibly some of the cast from Jersey Boys is coming up. Are you a fan of Jersey Boys, Andrew?
I've actually never seen the show. I know what it's about, but I've never seen it.
It's about Frankie Valli.
I know that. I just haven't seen it.
My wife, it's on loop at our house. She just loves it. It's a great story. They're doing it, and some other group is doing it. Wait, I think the Weather Vane might be doing it. I'll have to look that up and see. We already have our tickets. It's later in the month of June. Let me click on that right now and go out to the Winnipesaukee Playhouse there and see when that is taking place. My gosh. June 21st to July 6th. I cannot wait, and I am anxious. Actually, I hope some of the cast comes in because I would love to talk to them. There are things. Can you imagine an iconic group like Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons? They're still alive, and now you are having to portray them on stage. That would be someone classic hits, and no pressure there. No. You know the kind of pressure, Andrew, right? You just did, what was the horror one you did down in Boston?
Evil Dead the Musical.
Yes. They're still alive, huh? And
the actors that played those characters, a few of them are, I believe, yes.
Mm-hmm. And the lead who plays...
oh, yes. No, Bruce Campbell is very much alive and
very
kicking.
much alive, yeah. No pressure there to have to perform well. So the Jersey Boys is coming up. That's going to be, I think my ticket is for the 28th. Not that anybody cares about that, but I just wanted to let folks know, what is Ray doing out there besides commanding the rest of us to go see plays? While I have the Winnipesaukee Playhouse website up, they are doing another show. This is their professional season. So they start with Jersey Boys. Then they go into Witch by Jen Silverman. I know nothing about the play. I imagine there's probably some kind of a synopsis here. Let me see what it is. This fiendishly funny and anachronistically contemporary play is a mature and inventive retelling of a Jacobean drama. The arrival of Scratch, the literal devil, tempts the residents of Edmonton to confront and perhaps indulge their darkest wishes. It sounds like a nightmare I've had recently, if I'm not mistaken. In exchange for their souls. Hey, I think this is a common theme here. Elizabeth should be his easiest target, having been labeled a witch and cast out by the town, but her soul is not so readily bought. Has the devil met his match? That will be their second show. My gosh, I can't. There's going to be a lot going on. Andrew, are you busy this summer? Are you performing at in the summer, any theaters in the area?
Not at present. This is actually the most time I've had off in a little bit. I'm doing a little bit of light producing, but...
And writing your memoirs?
Yeah, a little early for that. I'll let you know when I'm 45 if I start writing my memoirs. It'll wind up in the $5 bin at your local Walmart.
Yeah, that's where mine always is.
Yeah, it'll be called Tripping the Life Sarcastic.
In the parrot cage.
You have to rifle through it, build dominoes out of the other books. Isn't that what the kids do?
I believe so. I haven't been there in a while, but I'm going to take your word for it. La Cage aux Falls, do I pronounce that correctly? That's coming up.
Oh, God, I hope so.
I know, that's two of us, right? Richard III by Mr. Shakespeare himself. That's in August. In the Heights. In the Heights. Doesn't get much more famous than that. It's contemporary, right? He wrote
it's a little more current, yeah. Lin-Manuel Miranda, yeah.
Yeah, let me give a little brief synopsis of that. In the Heights tells the story of a vibrant Latinx community in New York's Washington Heights neighborhood. A place where the coffee from the corner bodega is light and sweet, the windows are always open, and the breeze carries the rhythm of 3 generations of music. That should be an excellent production. An excellent production. And that goes on in August and September. Dang, it's going to be a busy summer up there. Oh, seriously, already? I barely even scratched the surface. Andrew warned me. Oh, I woke up this morning, baby, and I had you on my mind. Joe Jeffrey reference there. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your happy to be out of bed host, Ray Dudley, and we are coming to you from the YMCA-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, 101.9 FM for the gorgeous souls in Manchester. Man, we love you guys. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. I have a lot more to get to. We'll be back in a minute. Happy days! You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your Edwin Hawkins-like host, Ray Dudley, coming to you from the Taj Mahal-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, and it is cavernous in here. 1450 AM, 103.9 on the FM band for those of you who know what a radio is, and 101.9 FM in Manchester for the beautiful, beautiful souls down there. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Lots going on out there. I was in the process of talking about things happening at the Winnipesaukee Playhouse. I am going to have Tim and hopefully Leslie and some of the cast for the season coming up there. They'll be doing, I just want to finish this up real quick. A Year with Frog and Toad. That's going to be October 19th to the 27th. Then they do Matilda the musical. That's going to be, that's interesting. That's in December. I must have gone way off track there. Anyway, I did want to touch on a couple of local things happening. I believe Powerhouse, they are on a roll up there. They are currently in rehearsals for Fiddler on the Roof. You know, they have the fortunate circumstances of being able to perform at the brand newly renovated Colonial Theater in Laconia. Folks, if you have not been to that theater, you are missing out. And to put on Fiddler on the Roof up there is going to be a spectacle. You have got to see that event. That, I believe, is going up on August 9th through the 11th. All local talent. It is it's a classic, first of all. If you're really looking for something this summer to do, put it on your calendar. Fiddler on the Roof at the Colonial Theater in Laconia, August 9th through the 11th. Since I brought up the Powerhouse Theater Collaborative, I just finished this past weekend at Prescott Farms with the Powerhouse Theater Collaborative hosted a play festival. First of all, let me say Prescott Farms is crazy impressive place. I think the full name of the place is something like Prescott Farms Environmental something. It's incredible for you people who are into herbs and cob ovens and chickens and I don't know, all kinds of great things. That is the place to go. Even if you did not go to the festival, that is the place to go. However, I do want to talk about the festival kind of real quick. It was hot as...
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay. It was hot. Let me say that. It was a hot 2 days up there. But it was kind of impressive. So you've got 14 different plays ranging in time from 10 minutes long to 20 minutes long, written by 14 different. So these are plays that have never existed before this year, before they were written this year. Performed by 20-something local actors, directed by 14 local directors. It was like this, how do I put, it was like these mini workshops. It was darn impressive. Andrew, have you ever done a 10-minute play?
Can't say that I have.
So it's remarkable because it's a whole, the format itself is, you wouldn't think it'd be difficult. I just do 10 minutes, I'm in, I'm out, But to try to structure something that captures the attention of an audience for 10 to 15 minutes is crazy. You're trying to perform and move and accentuate and tell a story in 10 minutes. It's beyond challenging. So what happened was we had these 3 different sites at Prescott. We had one called The Bench, one called the Picnic Area, and one called The Rock. And all plays started at the same time. So come 1 o'clock, bing, the first plays at each area went off. And they would last, the whole thing lasted maybe an hour, hour and a half. And then we had a break. But it was as though there were 14 different micro workshops that were taking place. And we got to see on day one, because we did all the tech, and so the plays would go, we'd all 14 plays in a row for tech, and we got to see each of them. It's amazing what goes on out there for talent. I was talking to someone the other day about the festival, and they were saying, well, what's it like? And I said, well, to be honest, there is a wide spectrum of talent, which I guess you would kind of expect. Maybe you would hope everybody's like at A game or A-listers, and that's not necessarily true. There are people who are, because it's only 10 minutes long, they don't have a lot to worry about or a lot to be concerned about. They're dipping their toe into the acting arena or the writing arena. And when I say, that's why I say it was like a workshop, because you got to see people who have been doing theater, acting, performing for years, and they are with people who have never done it before. It's a great way. If you have never, ever acted, or even written, I guess, or directed, yeah. This is a wonderful format. Go out to Powerhouse Theater. What is their website? Powerhouse Theater Collaborative. PowerhouseNH.org is their website. They'll be doing it again next year. I assume it's going to be at Prescott Farm. Can't say that for sure. However, go out there as the year goes on and put it in your calendar, PowerhouseNH.org, and take a look. So you have this really interesting mix of seasoned versus not versus and they're not really mentoring either. It's just this wonderful. You get to see people who are not familiar with a lot of acting versus people who do a lot of acting, and it's really wonderful to see. There were a lot of friends that this is a very tight-knit community theater in New Hampshire, and it was wonderful to see some of my old friends and new friends up there performing, giving their best shot at this material, because there's no guarantee the material is good. There's no guarantee at all that the material is going to be good. These are people who have written, some of them their first play they've ever written, and so you kind of take the chance that it's going to be a high quality. Not only was the talent very varied on that wide spectrum, so were the plays. There were 14 very, very, very different plays. And some of them went dark. Some of them were very lighthearted. Aaron Campagna wrote one that I swear it was 10 minutes long. 5 minutes of it had no dialogue. It's 2 people on a bench. It was awkward, but it was hilarious. So you have this really, really broad array of plays that are up there. And the way it worked, after you saw, you could go, let's say you went to the bench, you would watch your 5, and then 3 o'clock would come, and you could switch, and you'd go to the Rock, or you could go to the picnic area and see those. And then if you didn't see them all, you would come back the next day and see the other 4 or 5. I think I heard that they're going to change that for next year so that it would be possible for folks who couldn't come back the second day to possibly see all 14 or 15 plays, whatever it will be next year, in one day. Andrew, are you there, sir?
Yes, always.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Because I was trying to get a recap with someone else, when you hear something like this, who do you think the target audience might be? Let me explain why I asked that. Because if you're looking for the general public to show up, I think that's a hard sell. Can you agree? Would you agree with that?
For general public?
Yeah. All right, hang on. Let me preface that.
Sure.
There are many plays out there which have maybe been on Broadway or maybe not even Broadway, but they're kind of biggish name plays. We have a hard time sometimes getting people to come to them because if they don't really know it, at the Hatbox, we had this problem all the time where there would be not big name plays and we're trying to get 90 people to show up on a night. Are you familiar with that?
Sure.
Okay. What do you think would be the draw to the public who wouldn't go for that to go see a 10-minute play they've never heard of that had been written that year?
Well, I'd love to. Unfortunately,
we're
going to hold that thought for just a sec.
Oh, you dog. I don't believe he bailed like that.
Oh, not bailing. We're out of time.
You are listening to the rantings of NH Unscripted. We are coming to you from the Foxwood-like digs of the WKXL studios. So happy to be here. Feeling no pressure today at all. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkman. And the radio part, 101.9 FM in Manchester. NH Talk Radio is the URL. Yeah, I'm going to pin him down. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are Daydream Believers here at NH Unscripted. I am your Davy Jones-like host, Ray Dudley. Yep, I'm wearing my bunny slippers. We are coming to you from the Gong Show-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, 1450 AM on your Sony Walkman. 103.9 FM. Those are Concord-based. 101.9 FM in Manchester. The URL is nhtalkradio.com. I will give you more info in the next block. I am thinking about and commensurating about the play festival that just took place up at Prescott. It was impressive. I do need to say that. It's impressive to see all these people, and I do mean there's a lot of people involved. By the time you get all the directors, the writers, the performers, the people working back, it's an impressive event. There are a lot of people there, and the quality of the work, depending on, again, the spectrum of talent and writing that's there, is darn impressive. It's darn impressive. But I was trying to engage Andrew in a conversation about who would the target audience be? Because this is kind of like inside baseball on one level. Wouldn't you think, Andrew?
A little bit. I mean, I'd say that, yes, your inside players, like the people who either know the writers or work in the theater, like obviously those friends and family would show up.
Right. And that's who did.
General audience goes, people who may be outside, you would have to do some impressive, honestly, some very outside the box advertising, whether it be social media or what have you.
Yeah, right.
To get general audience to show up in droves.
Yeah, and I'm not hammering on Hatbox.
Not at all.
The challenge out at the Hatbox Theater was And that's one of the reasons why we went and most of the time did 9 performances there or 3 weekends or however it fell out. Because we knew everybody who came in there that you might be a theater group that most people aren't familiar with, doing a play that most people may not be familiar with, in a venue that most people may not be familiar with. And so many times it was very difficult to fill that. And that's asking the general public to come. Now, granted, the Prescott Farm Play Festival, the Powerhouse Play Festival, was free. And if you stayed and you went to all 3 venues up there, you got your money's worth. There's times you were moved. I mean, a lot of people, there's a lot of funny stuff. And there's a lot of friends of ours who write stuff, and it's hysterical. And there's stuff that had people crying. And I saw one play, and I went, oh, my God, did this just go dark? And I mean dark as in, like, psychologically dark. And I did not see that coming. I thought it was a daughter and a mother who were chatting each other up, and it went dark. But kudos. So that's why I say it's kind of like inside baseball, right? It's for, you go because you know people there, not because necessarily there's something that you hadn't seen. Part of the draw for those of us in the biz is to go see friends and see what's going on, what they're doing lately, kind of commiserate about, what plays they're in or whatever they're doing or not doing, how their health is, that kind of stuff. But we went and it was so great. So anyway, my point is it was a lot of fun. I'm not quite sure who the target audience was. That's not on me, though. That's on Powerhouse. They got to figure that out themselves, because if you want to get more people, then friends and family, something, I think they're going to have to do something. But it was a wonderful weekend. Hot as hot. 7 inches from the midday sun. All right. So I did enough of that. Oh, and I did want to talk about this weekend, because I think this episode will air on Friday.
Correct.
Is this weekend? Did you say the Pittsfield Players this weekend is having?
That is next weekend.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend. And it is a series of one-act plays. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Like a festival of one-act plays? Big name one-act plays, or is it a...
It just says it's an evening of one acts.
Okay.
So
that's not very telling, is it? Wait, audition date. Oh, yeah.
So we have basically it's a series of new directors, and they are doing... It looks like just a series of one-act shows in one night.
Okay. Yep. The Pittsfield Theater has been renovated as well, and it is a place that is nothing like when I've performed there 4 years ago. I mean, it's, for one, it's air conditioned. Can you believe that?
It's beautiful.
They did a great job. They've been fundraising. They've been putting in a lot of things. One thing they cannot put in to save their lives is wing space off stage left. That is a tragedy. That will never happen.
We manage.
Yeah. Step outside, wings left, and you are in the alley. Literally in the alley. But they do have an evening of one acts. I love summertime theater. I grew up down in Wilmington, Mass, and I used to go to the North Shore Music Theater, and I would see plays up there like Camelot and everything. There's something about going out in the summertime, the evening, the crispness, not necessarily the heat, but the cool air as the night cools down, and you're going to see something, especially outdoors if you can do it. I think the Players Ring tends to do things outdoors once in a while out there, or sponsor some stuff out there. So if you can get out in the summertime and enjoy a play, go out to eat somewhere. It's such a revitalizing evening. You go out for dinner either before or after. You go see a play, or in this case, an evening of one acts. That would be plural. It's my gosh! You just unplug from the world. It's what summertime should be about. And the great thing about theaters like Pittsfield and the Colonial up in Laconia, which, by the way, does not just do plays. They bring in comedians and music groups and cover bands and all that stuff as well. But go to the CCA, the Capital Center for the Arts. Go to the Community Players of Concord. And at the folks, there is so much. This state has an incredible wealth of talent, and it is so busy with things, especially in the summertime. You've got the New London Barn Playhouse. They're doing stuff up there. You've got the Weather Vane Theater. You've got the Interlakes Theater. You've got the Winnipesaukee Playhouse. This state is remarkably rich in talent and in what they're doing. So anyway, that's me rambling about what's going on this summer. Anyway, at least at the Pittsfield Players. Andrew, I have so much. Are you doing something else at Pittsfield? Did I get that right or wrong?
No, my show wrapped. The only thing that I'm going to be potentially doing in the future is I'm auditioning for Into the Woods at the end of August.
Ooh, let's talk about that real quick.
Yes, our wonderful general manager is directing that show.
That is correct, sir. That is a big show. Name-wise, musicality. Is that even a word?
Yes, it is now.
Thanks. It's in the lexicon. Did you say that goes up in August?
No. The auditions start in August, but it goes up in the fall.
Oh. Okay. So there you go. There's in August auditions. If you have any inkling at all, now that's a tight cast as well. And that's Sondheim, is that correct?
It's Sondheim. It's a difficult score.
Yeah.
It's gonna require a bit more from performers than what you might be used to in a typical musical.
I may say if you're new, you might want to stay away unless you have some musical background, and I'm talking strong. It's Sondheim. I'm going to say friggin' Sondheim. We did that up at Gene's Playhouse. Man, that about broke me. That thing was intense. It's a fairy tale. It's Into the Woods. It's about all of these different fairy tale characters from Cinderella,
Rapunzel, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, the baker and his wife.
They're all there. It's a great show, really great show. That's going to be in Pittsfield. Go out to the Pittsfield Players website, which is pittsfieldplayers.org. Check out what's going on out there. I'm telling you, folks, you'll thank me. Come market days in Concord, June 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Come see me and thank me face to face. I'm telling you. I also wanted to say, and I started to talk a little bit about my friend Kevin Collins has written a series of these little novella. You got me. Itchy Coop Park, that's where we are almost. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am Ray Dudley, having a ball. I cannot believe they let me get away with this. We are coming to you from the Hollywood Squares like digs of the WKXL studios, where I, in the center square, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Those are Concord. 101.9 FM in Manchester, and all those can be found on your Sony Walkman radio part. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL, and I'll explain a little bit more about that when we come back. Sylvia's mother says, you better be listening to NH Unscripted. You're going to be left out of all the chatter at the big parties in the neighborhood. I'm your Dr. John Like host, Ray Dudley, and we are coming to you from deep within the bunkers of the WKXL studios underneath the great city of Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, if these are squeaking out through the bunker airwaves. 101.9 FM in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Now, if you go out to NHTalkRadio.com You'll find a link to listen online. That is for live. This show, NH Unscripted, comes to you every Wednesday and Friday morning at 9 a.m. Guess what? You push the listen online button. You hear it live. I mean, it's incredible. You could also hear all of the other shows out there by pressing that same button during the day. You'll find all kinds of stuff just floating out there. Opera. We have opera in the early Andrew, do they take the opera like after midnight?
Yes, I believe so.
That's crazy. Opera. Man, oh
So
man.
if you're up at night and
Yeah.
just need a little something nice to listen to.
A little something to go with your warm milk. Yeah.
Do people still do that?
Old people.
Easy.
Anyway, nhtalkradio.com. You can also find the archives of every show that takes place there. Let's say you're like, hey, I cannot get enough of NH Unscripted. That guy's hilarious. I need to hear more of those little song things he throws out there, those little breadcrumbs. Well, you can go out to nhtalkradio.com. You can go to the NH Unscripted on-demand link, and there you'll find it. How do you like that? And that's also true for all of the other shows that are taking place here at the station. All right, enough stream of consciousness there about that. I begin to talk about my friend Kevin Collins, who will be coming in at some point. And we are going to he has written a series of these incredibly funny, old, you would swear it's like black and white detective playettes, micro play.
Are you okay?
Am I having a stroke?
You smell toast.
They are short, kind of, but they're witty. They're Slotnick, the detective. Now, I've got that on air, so you cannot claim that because you heard me say Kevin owns them. But we will be doing a series of those coming up, and hopefully you'll really enjoy them. They are hysterical. They are exactly what you would think. They're just like the old-time radio shows. They last like 15, 20 minutes each episode. Kevin is part of the Garrison Players out in Rollinsford. If you want to go for a ride and you want to see some theater, head out to the Garrison Players. It's called the Garrison Players Art Center. Their website is garrisonplayers.org. And let me tell you, man, they do it all. It's amazing how you almost have to be helicopter dropped into some of these places. And you're like, wait, this theater out here? What in the world is going on? That reminds me, I also want to do a little push for M&D, which is up in North Conway. They are doing incredible stuff. Okay, here's how to have a great day. Gathering close around the microphone. Oh, no, I'll be around the microphone. You gather in close around the radio. North Conway, it has some incredible things happening up there. Zeb's. Have you ever been to Zeb's, Andrew?
Zeb's,
Zeb's.
Is that like a store?
It's a general store.
Oh, yes.
They have.
There used to be one in Manchester, I think.
No.
Am I thinking of something else?
I think you are. I think, yes. We need to cut your microphone off.
I'll go sit in the corner with this coloring book until you're done.
Zeb's is an incredible place. I'm just kind of, I do want to talk about M&D, but in the meantime, Zeb's penny candy out the wazoo. I mean, just aisles and aisles and aisles of penny candy. And I'm talking the old style stuff, the Mary Janes. I'm talking the
bit of honey.
Yes, sir. The Jawbreakers, and they have some that are almost baseball size. I don't know how you get that in your mouth. I don't want to meet the person.
That's ambitious. It's too much.
That's something for America's Got Talent right there, baby. They have all kinds, and then they have just aisles and aisles of New Hampshire-made things. Sauces, ketchups, spaghetti. I mean, they've got more things. Soap. They have a whole room full of just soap that's been made in New Hampshire. First of all, how can there be that many people who make soap? I buy mine, but...
Did you say eat soap?
No, sir. No, sir. I may have.
It sounded like you said people who eat soap. And then I have several questions after that, but I think we're just going to leave it alone for now.
I can't believe there's that many people who make soap in New Hampshire.
That makes way more sense.
Is that clearer?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, my denture must have been slipping. It is a great day. You go up there, you'll spend hours in Zeb's, and then right across the street, flatbread pizza. They have some of the most enormous cob ovens, wood-fired cob pizza ovens I have ever seen in my life. They have got to be, the base of those things have got to be 20 feet wide, and they have two of them. They're enormous, and their food is incredible. So anyway, you go to Zeb's, you go to lunch at Flatbread, and then you head over to M&D. M&D does unbelievable theater up in Conway. They used to be in a little shoebox, kind of in a shopping little plaza there. It was just but they moved, and their place, I saw them do, now I can't remember what I saw them do. The Salesman one, Death of a Salesman. Holy mother, what a production I saw. So go out to their website, M&D Playhouse, check out what's going on up there. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there for them. No particular reason. I just want to say that there's plenty of stuff going on. Get out of your house and go out there, see what they're doing. Matter of fact, I'm going to look them up right now while I'm chatting with you and give you an idea of what's going on out there. Meanwhile, we have auditions around the state. I think the New London Barn Playhouse, they are hopping up there as well. Hang on, I'm trying to type while I'm talking.
Summertime's a big season for them.
Oh my God, dude! I think they're doing a. They might be doing Jersey Boys as well. M&D players.
Summer of Jersey Boys.
Yeah, you believe that, man? I know it's like competing for Jersey Boys. I mean, it must have been released lately, and so they're just a hopping venue. M&D. Did they already do Harvey? Looks like Harvey. That can't be true. Is that? M&D continues their 2024 season, bringing the best of Broadway and beyond to the Valley. They are indeed up in Conway. Their website is mdplayhouse.com. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong if you head out there. Their 2024 season, it does feature Harvey, June 20th to July 7th. Wow, that's crazy. They're doing Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Oscar Hammerstein. When's the last time you've seen a Rodgers and Hammerstein? I sound like I'm from Boston. Hammerstein. I
mean, Powerhouse did Sound of Music last year. That's Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Oh, I see. You called me out on that. Yeah. Thanks. Angels in America. That's going to be in September. The Woman in Black is going to be October 17th and November 3rd. And then they're doing Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. I'm not sure what version that is. Adapted by Mark Sickler and Chelsea. Oh, I'm going to.
One of the millions of versions of Christmas Carol.
Sir, that would be correct. Yeah. That would be.
We don't know anything about that.
No, not at all. We might have heard of one or two that are taking place, but I don't have any news. By the way, I was talking to some folks speaking about the Hatbox. Coming full circle here, I have not heard any more. I did hear that they may have found a new home. Possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of, in Bow. Andrew, did you hear anything about that? Are you in touch with any of those people?
News to me.
Me too. But I think Gary Locke was telling me something about they may, because he's on a committee to help them find a new home. Hatbox 2.0, I believe, is what they may end up calling it, kind of, sort of jokingly. But they are, really? Time to go back to the home. Time for mashed potatoes and applesauce one more time. Mother of God. Well, why do you build me up, Buttercup? Yes. You are listening, or had listened to NH Unscripted. I am your host, Ray Dudley. So glad to be able to do this. We are coming to you. Where are we? We are at the Gong Show-like digs of the WKXL studios. Yes, the Unknown Comic. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, 101.9 FM for the folks in Manchester. NH Talk Radio is the URL. Folks, get out and see some theater this summer. I'll catch you on the next one.